Good morning, everyone. This is our portfolio presentation in Human Resource Management in Healthcare. Our topic is about job description. To start off, let's first try to define what is job description. The best way to describe it is a tool of finding the right people and for the right people to find you. We all probably seen job description before at some point in our lives. They can be found in job posting and also in newspaper. Now, it is our turn to write them as a nurse leader. It is essential to learn the correct process on how to do it. Let's begin with a quick overview of what is the difference between the job specification and job description. First, a job specification is provide more insight into what skills a candidate will use in a role rather than what tasks they will do. Job specifications are used to write a job description. On the other hand, a job description is a section of information in a job listing that explain the position of the company is hiring for. These are written by the hiring manager to aid the enticing and best qualified applicant to submit an application. When helping to fill the position, recruiters and other resources staff frequently utilize the job specification to understand the credential, trainings, and abilities of the hiring manager is looking for. A company may locate and employ the best qualified candidate with the aid of effective job and job specification. Now, let's talk about the element of job description. Number 1. It required experience. An employer may be mentioned in this job specification that the necessary experience in the desired function or pertinent experience is related to the role. For an instance, an entry-level post can state that no experience is necessary, but the director position would demand 7 years of managing experience. The second one is required education. To make sure that the employee has a necessary context and expertise to carry out their work obligation properly, you should add on this. The third one is required certification or credential. Some of the job certification or licensure in addition to schooling. This may be line of duties to outline in the job description since the employer may need to get particular certification before doing the specific job. For an instance, a mechanic job description can be stipulate that a candidate must be certified in order to do the task listed on the job specification. The fourth one is required skill. Employing manager, staff member, and human resource specialist may collaborate to determine the capabilities of the candidate should possess. Skills may be the things that individual may require to do a job, and they can also be focused on how candidate can fit on a team or represent the culture of an organization. The fifth one is the personality traits. Personality traits are characteristics that speak to a candidate character. For an instance, professionalism is a quality that identifies someone who is respect and help their coworker and is aware of the power of workplace behavior. This quality may necessary and for employment in a format of office environment. They can be explained which trait can be made in simpler perform effectively, yet matching every feature may be necessary. For the last one, it is demand. Job may state whether they are any physical demand. For an instance, if your work description is for a warehouse position, it states that you need to transport an item from one place to another. The job requirements you may need is to be able to lift a box weighing up to 50 pounds. In this instance, the specification specifies how much burden the applicant could have to bear to meet the criterion.
Good day everyone, I'm Patricia Maria Armoica. For the issues and tasks, writing a job description for a nursing leadership role and what we are looking for in a nurse leader to be the right candidate. First, when drafting a job description, we must state that a nurse manager or head nurse supervises and coordinates the care of the team of registered nurses, licensed practical nurse, and other nursing staff. And their responsibilities includes overseeing and guiding personnel, planning, designing, reviewing and executing comprehensive healthcare programs, and ensuring that the patients receives the highest quality of care. Therefore, our institution's employment specification must include RNs who can perform all the above description. For the nurse manager's skills and qualifications, to be a successful nurse manager, they must also possess the necessary skills and certifications. They must be a strong, autonomous leader, a cooperative team member, educated about health in addition to the essential nursing qualifications. Other competencies includes ability to deal with the conflict and crisis in a calm and cool manner, strong leadership, teaching, and mentorship skills, ability to work well with a team and delegate tasks, excellent communication skills both verbally and in writing, excellent time and project management skills. They must also demonstrate maturity when dealing with conflict. Also, highly professional when engaging with healthcare personnel, patients, and their families. And last, ability to advocate for their nursing staff to ensure a safe work environment. For the nurse manager education, training, and experience requirements, candidates for nurse manager must be a registered nurse in their state or territory. They must also hold a university or college degree in nursing, psychiatric nursing, or any equivalent program. They must have an additional training in business, health administration, or related professions may be required. Next, they may also be required to have a postgraduate degree in any of these subjects. And candidates shall also have a previous management experience. For the experience requirements, at least 5 years of experience as a registered nurse, demonstrable experience using their educational skills and knowledge to collect and evaluate information to provide the effective and accurate care. Lastly, an experience in leadership or supervisory role. For the approaches and rationale, if we were writing a job description for nursing leadership job, we should consider the task-based job description versus the competency-based job description approaches. Task-based analysis focuses on duties of the job which is suitable for the routine functions, unlike competency-based analysis which focuses on the specific knowledge and abilities of an employee that they must perform for a long term. An example of task-based would be written performance evaluation for employees, prepare reports, and assist clients with nursing care questions. Specific tasks are listed and it is clear. With competency-based, it is less clear and more objective. However, it might be more appropriate for specific high-level positions. It might include being able to utilize data, analyze tools, able to work within the healthcare teams, and adaptable. The distinction between the two is clear. Task-based are concerned with the job obligations that must be performed, whereas competency-based are based on how a person may apply their skills to execute the job. One is not superior to the other. They are just used for different purposes and types of job. Thank you. For the next slide, here is Miss Nati Natividad to present it. Thank you.
No matter how many interviews you have, they may still be nerve-wracking. You dress to impress, prepare a resume, and remember yourself to smile. Researching beforehand is the best approach to get ready for anything. The hiring manager may examine you on the following points. The first question would be, tell me about yourself. Most interviewers start with this question, and how you answer it can help you make a good impression. Skip your personal history and give about 2 to 3 sentences about your career path and how you ended up in this interview applying for this job. You don't need to be too detailed. There are plenty more questions coming. The second question would be, why do you want to work for this company? When hiring a manager asks this question, not only do they want to know why you want to work for them, but they also want to know what you know about the company. This question tests how well you know what the company does and how passionate you are about the work they do. So make sure you know the company well and can speak truthfully about your desire to work there. The third one would be, how did you hear about this job? When asked this during an interview, don't just say you heard about the job on a website. This is your opportunity to go into more detail about why you love this company and what motivates you to want to work there. Moreover, if you have a personal connection at the company, this would be a good time to mention their name. The fourth would be, tell me about something on your resume. Everyone has something on their resume that they're really proud of. Whether it's skill or achievement you've listed or a specific place you worked, consider answering this question by calling out the most interesting thing on your resume. Don't just say something relevant to your most recent position. You're already going to be asked about that. Instead, think about one of the older possessions listed on your resume and talk about how that experience helped you grow into the person you are today. The fifth one would be, why are you looking for a job, or why are you looking for a different job? This question might seem innocuous, but this is how interviewers weed out the people who you are, either just looking for any job, or were fired from their last position, or might have a high turnover rate, meaning you won't be sticking around for too long. Focus in the positives and be specific. Think about why you are looking for a job. Did you just graduate and this will be your first real job? Are you switching career paths? Are you leaving your current job for this one? If you are currently working somewhere, you should also be prepared to answer, why do you want to leave your current job for this one? The next question would be, why should we hire you? When asked this question, keep in mind that the recruiter is looking to hear what skills you have that you're going to bring to the team. Be specific, summarize your work history and achievements, and use specific examples when possible. The next would be, where do you see yourself in 5 years? This can seem like a heavy question during an interview, especially when you haven't prepared for it ahead of time. Focus on your career goals and be realistic. If you plan to work at this company for 5 years, make sure you understand who would be working above you and what potential career growth there is. The hiring manager asked this question to find out if you set realistic goals, if you are ambitious, and to confirm that the position you are interviewing for aligns with these goals and growth. If this position isn't exactly a job with a lot of future opportunities, you can simply answer this by noting that you are not certain what your future is going to look like, but that you believe this position is going to help you navigate yourself in the right direction. The eighth question would be, tell me about the conflict you faced at work and how you dealt with it. This question is important to ace because it helps an interviewer understand how you deal with conflict. Once you have an example in mind, explain what happened and how you resolved the issue in a professional manner, and try to end the story with a happy note about how you reach a resolution or compromise with your coworker. The next question would be, what is your dream job? Similar to the where do you see yourself in 5 years question, the interviewer is looking to understand how realistic you are when setting goals, how ambitious you are, and whether or not the job and company will be a good place for you to grow. Think about how this job is going to set you up for the future and get you closer to your dream job. The next question would be, what do you expect out of your team or co-workers? This question is meant to understand how you work on a team and whether you will be the right cultural fit for the company. To prepare this answer, make sure you research the company ahead of time. You can always tell a little bit about company's culture is like by looking through their social media profiles or reading their reviews. The next question would be, what do you expect from your manager? Again, the hiring manager is looking to understand what kind of employee you would be and whether you will be a good fit to add to their team. In some interviews, your future manager might be interviewing you, answering this question as honestly as possible, and pull examples from your current manager if you can show how they positively help you work better. The next question would be, how do you deal with stress? You want to know you want to show that you can handle stress in a professional and positive manner that helps you continue working or won't stop you from accomplishing your goals. Moreover, be specific and explain what you actually do to deal with stress, like taking a 15-minute break to take a walk outside, crossing items off on the to-do list, etc. The next question would be, what would the first 30 days in this position look like for you? This question helps a company understand what you will get done in your first month to 3 months in this position, and how you answer it will signal whether or not you're the right person for the job. Start by mentioning what information you would need to get started and what would help you transition into the new role. Then focus on your best skills and how you would apply those to this position right away. Next question would be, what are your salary requirements? Some interviewers ask this question, others don't. It's always better to be prepared, especially because you want to make sure you'll get paid a fair wage for the value you are going to add. The last question would be, do you have any questions? The last question you will always be asked during an interview is whether or not you have any questions for the interviewer. This is your chance to really stand out. So make sure you have your questions prepared and avoid asking ones that have already been answered. Keep a list of at least 3 or 5 questions in the back of your mind, so there are at least 2 questions you have to ask at the end of the interview. Recruiters say they actually enjoy getting to answer some questions at the end of an interview.
Summary and issues. The importance of job descriptions are more than a formal document needed to start the recruiting process. So every applicant needs to take that seriously. Also, a job description typically outlines the necessary skills, training, and education a potential employee needs. It will spell out the duties and responsibilities of the job. Once a job description is prepared, it can serve as a basis for interviewing candidates, orienting employee, and evaluating job performance. Investing a few hours every 2 years to update your job description is a good investment in the organization. But there are some issues doing a job description. But the most common are, first, the job description is out of date. Compare your business today with what it was 5 years ago. Chances are different. The work done by employees running the different has changed too. Technology transformed the way work gets done. The organization and reconstructing impacts roles and responsibilities. In any case, it's a good practice to review the job at least every 2 years to ensure they reflect the reality of the position. The second is there is no job description. When hiring a new position, the job ad becomes the de facto job, but it's not sufficient. Job ads lack important elements for the job description, reporting relationships, the physical demand of the position, and detailed responsibility without a solid job description. The job title is meaningless. A good job ad needs an appealing job title. So maybe we can recommend using a meaningful and widely understood job titles to avoid confusion about the scope of the role. Fourth, there is no consistency across the organization. Each department has different templates, different headings. The job description documents look different. So the department and work teams update the job description, which is good, without consulting an eligible party or the HR department. Using job description software will alleviate this problem if your organization is willing to invest. 5. The fifth, the essential functions are not itemized as a percentage of time. Consider this is a big ticket items of the position. What are the critical deliverables and how much time do they require? Think in terms of hours in a day or in a week. For example, if the administrative assistant spend about 4 hours a week on a budget reconciliation, the 10% of the work week, and it should be reflected in the job description. If the task requires 4 hours a month, that's less than 10 hours. That probably should not be itemized.